What comes to mind when you hear the name Paul Revere? A lone rider, galloping through the moonlit streets of colonial America, shouting, "The British are coming." It's a powerful image, one that's been etched into the very fabric of American history. But what if I told you that the real story, the deeper story, isn't just about one man on one night? What if it's about a legacy of courage that's still alive and well, right here, right now? This isn't just another history lesson. This is a journey. My name is Emily Carter, and for the past year, I've been on a quest to trace the hoof prints of Paul Revere's famous ride. But I wasn't just following an old map. I was looking for something more: the spirit of the ride, the courage it represents, and how it continues to echo through our lives today. So, let's start at the beginning. Boston, April 18, 1775. Tensions are boiling over. The British troops are on the move, and the fate of a budding revolution hangs in the balance. Paul Revere, a silversmith and a passionate patriot, is given a critical mission to ride to Lexington and Concord and warn Samuel Adams and John Hancock that they are in danger of being arrested. It's easy to romanticize this moment, to see Revere as a superhero on horseback. But let's pause and think about the reality. He was an ordinary person, a father, a businessman. He had a life to lose. The roads were dark and patrolled by British soldiers. Getting caught meant imprisonment or worse. Every hoofbeat was a risk. Every shadow could have been an enemy. This wasn't a guaranteed success story. It was a gamble driven by profound conviction. And he wasn't alone. Men like William Dawes and Samuel Prescott also rode the night, spreading the alarm. Hundreds of others, whose names we don't know, played their part. They were the ones who lit the lanterns, relayed the messages, and picked up their muskets when the time came. It was a network of ordinary people making an extraordinary choice to act. This is the first lesson I learned on my journey. Courage isn't a solo performance. It's a chorus. It's a community standing up together. As I traveled from Boston through Charlestown, Somerville, Medford, and on to Lexington, I wasn't just visiting historical landmarks. I was meeting people. I spent time in classrooms, talking to students who were learning about Revere for the first time. I sat down with history, teachers, local historians, and descendants of those who lived through the period. In one small town library, I met a group of high school students who had started a local initiative to clean up their community park. It wasn't a grand, heroic act. It was just them, deciding to make their corner of the world a little better. When I asked them why, one young woman told me, "Someone has to care. If we don't, who will?" That's when it clicked. Paul Revere's ride wasn't a one-time event. It's a metaphor. The midnight ride is any moment when we see a need, a problem, or an injustice, and we choose to do something about it, even when it's difficult or scary. The lantern isn't just an old lamp in a church tower. It's the light of responsibility that we choose to carry. I met a teacher in Arlington who spends her own money on school supplies to make sure none of her students go without. I spoke with a volunteer firefighter in Concord who rushes toward danger, while others run away. These are modern-day midnight riders. They aren't seeking fame or recognition. They are driven by a simple, powerful sense of duty. Their courage isn't shouted from the rooftops. It's lived quietly, consistently, day in and day out. This journey taught me that courage has many forms. There's the loud, battlefield courage we see in movies. But there's also the quiet courage, the courage to speak up for a colleague who's being treated unfairly, the courage to have a difficult conversation with a loved one, the courage to admit when you're wrong and ask for help, the courage to keep going when you feel like giving up. Each of these acts is a choice. Just as Revere chose to get on that horse, we face our own choices every day. Do we look away, or do we get involved? Do we stay silent, or do we find our voice? Do we let fear hold us back, or do we saddle up anyway? The legacy of Paul Revere isn't a statue in a park or a poem we memorize in school. It's a living, breathing principle. It's the idea that one person's actions, no matter how small they seem, can ripple outward and create monumental change. It has the belief that ordinary people have the power to shape history, not just the history written in books, but the history of our own lives, our families, and our communities. Think about it. The Minutemen who gathered on Lexington Green that morning weren't soldiers. They were farmers, blacksmiths, and merchants. They were neighbors. They heard the call, and they answered. They stood their ground because of a warning delivered by a man who was, in the end, just like the man, ordinary citizen who chose to take extraordinary responsibility. My year-long trip along Revere's route transformed my understanding of history. It's not a dusty collection of dates and facts. It's a story about us. It's a testament to the power of human choice and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The ride didn't end in 1775. It continues with every act of bravery, big or small. It continues with every person who decides to light a lantern, in whatever form that takes, to illuminate the path for others. So, the next time you think of Paul Revere, I hope you see more than just a man on a horse. I hope you see a reflection of the potential that lies within all of us. The potential to be brave, to be responsible, and to make a choice that matters. The British aren't coming tonight, but other challenges are always on the horizon. The question is, who will ride? Who will carry the lantern? The answer, I've learned, is us. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this story resonated with you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more explorations into the legacies that shape our world. What does courage mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Until next time, keep your lantern lit.